What's going on, you gamers? In today's video we're going to be jumping into some more of the First Descendant, and for this one I'm going to be taking you over all of the best farms in the game, and you can get your gold and Kuiper up very fast. If you're trying to get rich, you want to know the best ways how, then this video is going to be the one for you. Now the first thing I would say, if you can, one of the things you'll definitely want to do first would be to make sure you've got some extra drop rate from some of your external pieces. So whenever possible, try and put one on that's got your extra Kuiper if you're going for that Kuiper farming, and of course if you're going for gold farming, chuck one on that's got extra for your gold. If you can manage to get them both in gold, that's going to be absolutely ideal, and if you want to run both at the same time, that would be pretty much perfect. Now the first place we're going to be heading to, and overall this is probably my favourite now in the game, is going to be the fortress, and then making your way over to the defence line outpost. From there you're going to want to make your way down to this mission, the defence line Vulgar Strategic Outpost, and you'll probably have heard of this mission because a lot of people have aptly named it the Valby Farm, because most times she's going to be the best descendant in order to get this done. What you can be doing, nice and easy, you're going to do the same as normal. You're going to take out the 3 containers around the edge, and then you're going to want to aggro and defeat the first stage of the boss so that he spawns a few more enemies around the outside of the area. From here, if you have got a Valby, it's going to be ridiculously easy. You're going to want a lot of AoE, you're going to want to make sure you're kind of taking out those enemies as they're spawning in that damage over time effect. But even if you've got a bunny, or possibly a Freyna if she's got her poison move on that makes it go behind her, you could get this done, although not quite as fast as if you did have a Valby in the first place. But with a few people here, you can get this done, and you're going to net yourself around about 4.5 million gold and just over 350,000 Kuiper every hour or so by just dipping into the mission, dipping out and restarting it over and over again. For the next one, we're going to head over to the Echo Swamp, and by far the best descendant for this one is going to be a maxed out bunny with its AoE range and a nice bit of skill damage. Once you're there, you're going to want to head over to this mission, the Abandoned Refinery Unit. Once in here, you're going to use your bunny to absolutely decimate the enemies below in the caverns and just above the top surface. And you're going to be running around as fast as you can in order to complete the mission as quickly as possible. This one I found to actually give you a little bit more Kuiper and gold than the previous one, although it's not quite as friendly overall if you're trying to do one when you're just zoning out, because there is a bit more running around rather than going in a circle with the Valby Farm. However, this gets you a nice amount of gold, just over 5.5 million I think, and a little bit more Kuiper than the previous one. But if you have an under-geared bunny and you're not destroying those enemies as you go, it actually works out quite a bit less. Next up, and we're going to be heading back to Albion, this time we're going to go to our trusty module master, and one thing you'll definitely want to remember will be to clear out your modules from time to time and just get rid of the ones you don't need. Remember, you can do this by combining them if you want to spend some gold and hopefully get some of the ones you haven't got, but I'd only recommend doing this with some of the kind of gold and transcendent modules whenever you need them. For the rest, whatever you don't need, just get rid of them, and remember you can sort it so that you're going to get rid of absolutely every single one of your duplicates, allowing you to get rid of them fast. But this does do it for all of them, so be a bit wary in case there's some of the ones you don't want to get rid of. Over to our next one, and this one's absolutely amazing for Kuiper farming. That's going to be making sure you go for your encrypted vaults, and if possible you're going to want an Enzo on your team in order to do this. When you're opening up those vaults, those encrypted vaults, you're going to get some much needed materials, ones that you're definitely going to have sought after, but at the same time you're also going to be getting yourself a large amount of Kuiper farming done, as they give you roughly 20 for the smallest, just over 40 for the mediums, and over 60,000 whenever you're doing the ultra precision ones. Lastly, and this one I must admit I found it a bit hit and miss, but I am definitely going to go over it because it's well worth knowing about. Since the last update, they've managed to increase massively the value mark target rewards and high value mark target rewards. Now when you're getting these, certain enemies are going to drop them, and the low ones are worth 100,000 and the high ones are now worth a massive 1 million each in gold. Just look on them, click on them to see wherever you can get these drop, and then you're going to go to those missions, tackle them and hope for the best whenever you're doing the mission. I found myself being able to get roughly 2 million every kind of 30 minutes give or take, but again it was hit and miss, and sometimes I was having none of these drop whatsoever. Let me know in the comments if you're having any luck with these and you found any places which seem to drop them at a more steadily rate. But ultimately these are by far the best place in the game if you're trying to boost your Kuiper shards and gold and get rich as fast as possible. There'll be a lot more content away from me. As always, Wolfens Gaming, take care. I'll see you on the next day.